the Lost at Home podcast. Here are your hosts, Scott Bear and Jeremiah Johnson.
Yeah, get your fucking stank ass out of my face.
Actually,
with your corona poops.
It definitely is a stank ass. It's not the ass. It's the sweatpants.
I couldn't smell your pants or your ass.
Oh man, I've been wearing the same pair of sweatpants the entire quarantine time.
I actually did a quarantine faux pas.
What's that?
Well, first week before I had to see you, I just didn't shower for a week because you know what?
Okay, here's
no one can smell me.
Here's the thing about that is I will say, okay, I've got the cleanest hands I've ever had in my entire existence because I'm washing them regularly, like you're supposed to, like and so you wash them regularly, like you're supposed to. The thing that has gone down significantly for me though is the frequency of my showering because I used to shower every single day because I'd go to the office.
Same, yeah.
And now I don't shower every single day. I wash the parts of my body that are going to be affected.
I
wash my face. I wash my hands.
I went a solid week.
Yeah.
And you know what I learned?
Oh, dude,
you know what I learned? Outside of genitalia, if you take care of yourself and you use deodorants and you change your clothes, you really don't smell.
No, it's actually the thing that I noticed when
as long as you're not dirty and gross.
And it would also be like how much you drink. I would notice that like if I don't drink, it's fine. But then one night, the next day you wake up and you can like smell it coming through your sweat and stuff. Even if you can't, other people can.
Now, does that make an argument for ball sweat? Would you rather drink too much and have your balls smell like vodka or just smell like balls?
I'd say like vodka. I'd rather have like, I mean, that's like a bad smell. Like
you could just say I smelled a shot of my open genitalia while sitting in my living room doing nothing.
No, you guys don't butt chug? Come on.
That actually requires more story.
yes. And
tell me more. What were you doing?
Well, we'll get into some other stories. We want to say welcome to the listeners who have been gathering a little bit of that TMI on our part because we just hit roll. We hit roll on the recording. We hit record on the rolling.
I also hope that you scrape back through this and pick a proper moment to start our ramble because maybe not every moment was.
You know what? Probably just staying right in.
Probably all of it.
All of it. It's going to start with you talking about my stank ass and me talking about my stank ass sweatpants and go from there. But we are the Lost at Home podcast, which you hopefully might know, although maybe you're listening to us on the radio network and maybe it wasn't announced that you're just tuning in the middle of it or something. Lost at Home podcast. We do news the news way.
Yes.
Is that the tagline?
No.
We do news the news way instead of new.
Our tagline is, it makes you smarter.
I like mine better.
And last week, if you were listening, we posted a coronavirus-only episode because we need to get through a lot of the weird news surrounding the coronavirus. And if you ever dig on the internet for weird news, this is the worst time to do it. Literally every news story is a weird news story circulating around the fact that the coronavirus is happening.
Yeah, and the thing is though, people who tuned in last week or slash depending on when this we just got posted yesterday or this
it depends
morning.
on when you decide to post this one, apparently.
Yes, so this one might come out right after that one, but we originally were intending to do just one large one-off COVID episode, which is still sort of the plan, but really what we found is that even when we find weird news, as you were just mentioning, that there's still some thread of the weirdness that is related back to COVID, even if it's not like, here are some case numbers. You know, we're not going to give you that kind of information. We want to give you the news that falls through the cracks. So even if we cover COVID, we might do it in mini-sodes. We might do updates per show.
We talked before this show that we want to do mini-sodes, like we said last week. And I think a lot of people are hearing pretty close to this episode.
I think so, yeah.
This might come out closer.
Yep. And the mini-sodes are going to be more like shorter episodes. The last one was a full episode, but it's going to be as long as we want.
Sorry to talk over you.
No, I was talking over you. Let's keep doing that.
That's good. That's
good radio. That's great radio.
I think this is the good radio.
This is the reason people tune into.
Everyone is at home right now.
Everybody can just make a podcast anytime they want. And the reason is because you don't have to have professional integrity whatsoever. They can just have a bunch of talking heads. Burning down the house.
But we did talk before the show about the fact that we do want to do mini episodes, and it's really hard to find content for main episodes. So maybe the mini episodes are coronavirus updates.
Yeah.
That makes the most sense, because I can drop a nickel in a bucket right now, and the reverberation from that...
Yeah.
I don't know. Analogies.
I was curious, like how you were going to get to anything from dropping a nickel in a bucket and having the reverberation. I'm just like you're trying way too hard, but it's like ripples in a pond or something. But
I was going for that. Yeah, I was going for ripples of sound.
A nickel in a bucket.
We're an audio podcast. I was going for a sound metaphor.
But people know other things. Like just because you're still saying words.
Everyone knows what a nickel and a bucket sounds like.
If you don't, everybody at home, you probably have plenty of time on your hands.
You probably have a bucket.
Find a nickel. Although wash your hands before and after touching that nickel. Those have been weird places. I found a roll of nickels up my asshole the other day. Yeah, which is crazy because it started as a roll of dimes.
They've been quarantined since before the quarantine.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
So, minisodes, quarantine weird news, main episodes, we're going to strive our hardest to actually talk about anything but. So, from this point forward, let's move forward with news that is not that.
Yes.
Also, in our rambles, I don't think we actually explained the show. So,
really. We said news that slipped through the cracks, and that's it.
Yeah,
actually the format.
We take news stories that aren't in the pop culture norms, things that are a little bit more under the radar. And what we do with them is we bring them to the surface, and we want to make sure everyone's aware of this before we go further. You cannot run with our ideas unless you give us some kind of credit. Meaning, our ideas we turn to new social content. Maybe a movie, TV show, rap song, ballad, book. Doesn't matter what it is. You can use our ideas. We're putting these out into the world. Yeah, we just want credit.
Consider this a verbal Creative Commons 4.0 license. I think 4.0 is the one that's like with attribution or whatever. Yes. I don't know, Creative Commons license.
Yep, so we're going to report weird news that you haven't heard, especially in this cycle. I think we might be the only news source not reporting Corona news. Yep. And then we want you to run with it. And just please give us credit. But if your idea gets really big or you want to incorporate us in it, maybe we get to be extras in a movie set or something.
Yeah!
Reach out to us at lostandhomepodcast@gmail.com. That's our easy get to. Also, if you want to find us on social media, we are at The Lost at Home on Twitter. We also have a Facebook page and group. The page is more for show announcements, but the group is for chatting. It is not safe for work, and I guess you were not at work, so everything is safe for work right now.
Safe for work is if you can look at it on your home computer.
I never thought of that. Not safe for work has kind of ended.
It means nothing now.
It means nothing.
I was having a conference call for my office because I'm working from home, but I'm still luckily gainfully employed. And while it was on, I luckily wasn't on video. I was watching pornography and masturbating vigorously while on the call. And luckily, I did not have my video shared, but in other words, everything is safe for work if your work is work from home and you have no office mates.
Not one of our stories this week, but Walmart online has had a huge uptick in clothing sales, specifically tops, not bottoms. And it's mainly Zoom people wanting to look better,
but not having camera,
of course, but not caring about their fucking janky tighty whities or boxers.
No, I was actually just thinking about that. I'm like, like the sport jacket section is going to be decimated at all these stores.
Yep.
But all the trousers are fucking.
That is exactly what's happening. People are spending very minimal amounts of money
like,
to
I can
look good
like I'm
on
wearing
camera,
a suit. Yes,
without spending the whole money to buy the pants.
And from down below, there's just flies around a dirty groin, a crusty asshole.
Yeah, no penny loafers, no black business socks, no slacks.
Nope.
They're just buying blazers and nice looking shirts.
Exactly. I was just thinking about that the other day, actually. I'm like, I just need to, granted, I didn't even bother with that.
Lost on Podcast just dropped a little bit of knowledge even on Jer here, who is a constant Zoomer.
Yes, I Zoom on, even if people don't want me on, I do what they call Zoom bombing, which is something people have to worry about. I almost brought a story to the table about somebody in Omaha, so I guess I am bringing it to the table now. But this is
I brought a story to the table. You brought a story to the table. This is the pre-coronavirus.
Yes, exactly. This is like what we're talking about for a second. But yeah, but it is, people have to watch out because the Omaha there was like some virtual town hall somebody was holding. But unfortunately, if you don't take that in consideration and you're just posting the link for everybody, the whole point of Zoom is it's really easy to use. People have been getting these links through other so whatever means, clicking on them, and then as the meeting starts, they're posting pornography and all this kind of stuff on the thing. So this thing called Zoom bombing is in place. So just do a quick Google search and find out what you can do to actually safen up your stuff on while you're doing Zooming.
Now, as our show was predicated before, new content.
Yes.
I have an idea, Jer. This makes a lot of sense in the quarantine era. Let's have a British reality show that I'm guessing will get easily ported to America, Brazil, all these other countries, Germany, everywhere. We put 7 to 15 strangers, only because I don't know the numbers of the actual thing I'm ripping off.
Okay.
Into quarantine, meaning in the same house.
Yep, air quotes.
And then we have cameras on them, and they have to live their day-to-day lives with each other. and the cameras are always on them, and they have to do these little point-to-point interviews in like little rooms. We'll call them clean rooms.
Yes, I see. Okay.
And
you're describing The Real World, which came out in the early 90s.
and or Big Brother.
Big Brother, yes.
But literally, if there was a time for a quarantine reality show where you test a subject, test all the subjects first of all, not just the first one.
We've discovered a pattern. One person didn't have it. We can assume this applies to all, right? That's how statistics work.
Either this is a brilliant idea or a marketing catastrophe if one person tests negative for COVID.
3 weeks
is
in,
locked in a room with 14 other people and gives it to all of them, and then on live stream we just watch them die.
Like we can't do
Which
anything.
also would be saddest Hunger Games, saddest Purge.
But it's funny. I was actually just thinking something similar the other day about how I wanted to I think it would be interesting because a lot of people cannot make movies, and people are doing so much stuff virtually. I recently watched the 2 Unfriended movies, which actually were not that bad for sort of found footage horror movies, but it's done through the behind the webcam kind of situation.
Oh yeah, like the Sasha Grey, the Hobbit one.
Open. Open
what I meant.
I did, Elijah Wood and Sasha Grey. It's like open window or something like that.
Oh, it's Sasha Grey and the Hobbits.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I've definitely seen. It's either the porno I watched of her fucking a bunch of midgets.
I've seen that porn. It is fucking great.
Yeah, Fellowship of the
I
O-Ring.
like how they were all actually tall guys, but they use that point of focus thing where they look short.
So they have to make her suck a fake dick, and it actually took way more work than just finding a bunch of midgets for her to blow, because they're just it turns out these people are, they're harder to find. And, forced perspective, that's it. And it was called Fellowship of the Rim Job, or the O-Ring. I don't know, what do we do? Brown Star. Help me out here. Nothing? All right, moving on. No, I was thinking,
I was thinking of, Lord of the Rings references. I don't know many. One ring to rule them all. Also, there's the ass is called the ring. I don't know. I was trying to find a joke.
I was thinking O-Ring or whatever.
I couldn't get there.
Or Fellowship of the the O-Ring.
Normally I'm quicker, but Lord of the Rings has too many references.
Yeah, of course.
Sex has less references than Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Fairly.
Well, you remember that book Board of the Rings? Did you ever read that one with Dildo Baggins or whatever his name was? You ever read that?
I know the term Dildo Baggins.
Yeah. So anyway, I was thinking the horror movie. The thing that people could do is actually, I'm pretty sure in the Unfriended movies, I'd have to look into it. I'm not sure if they get everybody together and have a director and whatnot. But if you actually could get people together who were decent enough at acting and essentially direct them virtually and have them record that footage, send you all that footage, and piece it into a real, you could make a horror movie type thing out of this whole thing, just like Unfriended and whatnot, but based around the exact thing. But you could also make it timely, because you could actually, that's one of the types of movies you could film right now, because nobody would have to leave their place. You'd be recording it, and it would actually be way more realistic, because you'd be getting a bunch of different sound quality, things from different people, and video quality, which is like real life on the webcam. So anyway, interesting. I was just thinking about that the other day. I'm like, there are some things where you could, I don't want to say capitalize, I don't want to think of capitalizing on the virus, but there are certain things where you can use that.
You say the words new content. I actually, now, the more I dug into my brain, I have watched this movie. There was a Big Brother parody movie where a zombie apocalypse happened outside, and they were oblivious to it until it hit their doorstep, but it was all caught on those remote cameras, not the handheld kind.
Yeah.
So I have seen that movie. I think I watched it 2 years ago. If any listener out there knows the title, hit us up on the fan group, page.
Yeah.
Not group, page.
Fan page.
And just let us know the title, because the more I think about it, the more I'm realizing, yes, that already was a zombie apocalypse movie where there was Big Brother involved. Since we're recording, it's kind of hard to quickly search. So
yeah, and there's no
let's
reason
just let that lie that people I actually realize now that was not new content. No one go ahead and make that movie thinking you just came up with a great idea off our idea
and then get sued.
No, it's already been done. Don't get sued. Get sued.
Yep. It's an idea. I mean, technically, the thing I'm talking about is the Unfriended movies, or those. Those are probably the 2 biggest horror movies that have come out like that, and they actually were decent and didn't. I'm like, oh, I definitely want to watch a horror movie looking through a fucking webcam, and it's like, oh no, they actually, if you can play with the limitations of the format, it's actually pretty decent. Also, just like a lot of found footage movies, there's a reason you have to make people keep doing it.
Found it. If anyone wants to watch it, it's called Dead Set. It was filmed in 2008, and it's a TV show There is one season, and I've watched all of it.
Dead set.
It is quite worth watching because it is a genre breaker, if you will. It combines zombie apocalypse with Big Brother. Honestly, there's one season. Watch it. I do not know where it's available.
I'm going to look that up right now, actually.
I was going to say, Netflix.
Yeah, I was just you're checking Just Watch. I'm a big fan of Just Watch, the app. I don't know if anybody else uses that, but
it's telling me Netflix, but that doesn't mean regionally I can watch it. It just means Netflix says I could.
Yeah, but I can click on that and just see if it lets me open it up in Netflix.
I'm going to do it the slow way.
Oh, 5 episodes. That's it.
It's on Netflix.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah, 5 episodes, 1 season.
Netflix US, at least from where we're talking.
Yeah, we're talking the US. I would recommend any listener watching it only because
I'm adding that to my queue. Seems like it would be a fun, just a real
it's 5 episodes.
Simple watch. It's like the length of a couple movies probably by the time. It's
think of watching it as watching a zombie trilogy, but low budget.
Awesome. I'm gonna check it out myself. So. People have time to, watch and find new content out there. So even though,
how about that?
Even though that's not new content, you're recommending content.
Can we do that? For every story we say today, we give our new content, and then we also give existing content that maybe parallels it.
Okay, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because people are sitting at home right now going, what the fuck am I doing besides listening to this podcast for, 1 hour?
Yep.
When the hour ends and you don't feel creative enough to make your own blockbuster movie off our idea, maybe you go to our slant idea, which is an idea that's similar to it that we're not
it could be just got to be like
there's no original
it's got to be
ideas.
like adjacent to so some theme that we cover in the story. We'll try to find a piece of content that exists already and recommend.
Does that make us frauds, Cher? Does that make us frauds?
No, it doesn't. It makes us a recommendation engine as well as a content producers. Or content creators.
You need to be in every fucking moment of my life when I have a fight with my wife where I give the good argument for one side, but then you give another good argument for the other side.
Yep.
So we get 2 arguments going at once.
Yep, that's what we need. So we're good. We're good.
I'm just saying, all you thruples out there,
yep.
God damn it, you're lucky. You get a 3-way fight.
Yeah, well, except for the person who's on the other side of the other two, because damn well it's always going to be 2 people ganging up against one. There's no way they're just going to have...
No. 3-way fights and thruples happen all the time.
So you think 3 different,
they're completely all different.
It's the way fights happen.
I'm not going to the co-op to get the coronavirus. I'm not doing Uber Eats because their recommendations for their drivers' sanitary conditions have not been done nationwide.
Yep.
So the drivers literally have no reason to wash their hands, wear gloves, or take precautions because no one's telling them.
I would still say probably still safer than going to a grocery store.
Or hunting your neighbor for sport and cooking over spit in your backyard. Those are our 3 options.
Okay.
You go to the grocery store, Uber Eats, or hunting your back neighbor for food.
Okay.
I say all 3 options equally bad.
Yes, as far as limiting exposure, I would say Uber Eats is probably the safest bet because you're talking about sanitary conditions for one person and their drivers versus the sanitary conditions of everybody who goes through that grocery store. Because I'm not worried about sanitary conditions of the actual people working there. They have to go through all these procedures. But the people touching all this shit are just Joe Schmoes some people who probably don't even believe the coronavirus is a thing yet.
But theoretically, wouldn't being door to delivery being better? Because literally the person who carries the bag out to the door leaves it on the stoop.
Yes,
and
right,
you've already paid by credit card, so you just grab your stoop.
Yeah, Uber Eats. That's what I was saying.
Uber Eats adds one hand to it.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's what I mean.
We want to reduce. Basically what we're saying here on the Lost Zone podcast is we want to do the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon or 6 degrees.
Oh, but you're saying instead of going out and doing curbside pickup, I'm saying compared to the grocery store, Uber Eats is safer.
Yes.
Compared to going to say Domino's
right.
and getting carryout or some restaurants and getting curbside, that's going to be safer because you're only dealing with maybe 2 cooks and somebody dropping it off on the sidewalk.
But I'm thinking for every interaction with anything you need in public, think about the Kevin Bacon rule.
Yep.
All the degrees? How can you think of the product you want and the Kevin Bacon steps in between?
And you got to try to shorten it up.
How can you lessen those steps?
Until you're flat out just getting Kevin Bacon bringing you everything. Bacon's bacon.
He might be in Vermont, quarantining right now.
I'd be great.
I've seen him on Montpelier. I've seen him in Montpelier, on Main Street.
And to be fair, we are talking about the Kevin Bacon, the actor, not the Kevin Bacon that we're going to talk about in an update in a story coming up.
Ooh, call forward.
That's right. We're no rules here in the quarantine zone. Although I should also mention that Scott and I are safely distanced within about 4 feet between us. But we're not sure if we're gonna, we're gonna keep recording. But if you notice a difference in recording quality one of these days or something, it shouldn't impact things too much. We've done remote ones. Nobody's noticed Ben the Wiser. No, we might do some remote stuff going forward.
This may or may not be our last in-studio recording. Yeah. Jared has basically a safe house here.
I am the most isolated person. I've been so excited about the stay-at-home order. Yep. I don't have to find excuses to not hang out with people.
I've been laid off for 2 weeks straight as of today almost, and my wife has been sick for 2 weeks, so I am the safest person you will see.
Yep, and it's great. I've been having
not even Jared in the studio. No one, not even our sound designer Chad. No one balked at the fact I said my wife has been sick for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, so you're the safest person.
No one caught that. No one.
A lot of people have been sick recently.
No, she
the vast majority of them have not been.
She legit had the seasonal flu.
My dad actually got over his seasonal flu right before all the quarantine stuff happened. So luckily, because otherwise he probably would have been way more paranoid about it. But it turned out to just be fine, and he's fine now. And it was just because if he wasn't, he would probably be dead because he's in that dangerous range. So, Dad, I know you're not listening because you don't know how computers work, but glad you're fine. Glad you're alive.
All right, moving on to the first subject of the show. Yeah. We're going to do updates, and we don't do updates every week. It's only pertinent when a story that we had covered in depth in the past has come back up to the surface.
Pretty much a web
much
dropping
like how our show is kind of designed. Things that bubble up to the surface.
Speaking of Kevin Bacon.
So, Mark Latunsky. Yeah. I don't think I said it right the first time. I don't think I'm going to say it right the second time.
Latunsky looks good. I would put money on Latunsky.
Also, don't fucking care. He's a dirtbag.
And he's dead, right?
Yeah. 50 years old, was found unresponsive in his cell in Shiawassee County Jail Tuesday. Yep. And was taken to a nearby hospital. One of the parts of the story I love is that when he was found unresponsive in his cell, they tried smelling salts, which is a thing I remember from when I was a kid.
They said they were able to. They were able to revive him, but so when they said unresponsive, I'm just curious. He was They took him to a hospital, but I was curious.
He was on a hunger strike, which is why he became unresponsive.
Yeah,
he decided to stop eating in his jail cell based on accusations against him, which are 100% true. Because we reported this story. God, I want to say a couple of months ago.
I've got a little problem with how, this is Daily Mail.
The story is written horribly.
Which all of their stories are. It says he's found unresponsive, then revived with smelling salts and brought to a hospital. So I would think unresponsive usually means he's dead, but apparently he still died. So, okay, that's what I was curious about, if he died.
Yes, he is dead. So we reported on him about 2 years ago after he killed a 25-year-old hairstylist named Kevin Bacon after meeting him on Grindr. Yeah. And during the meeting, he ended up incapacitating him, hanging him upside down from the rafters, and eating his genitalia and other parts of his body. So since being in jail, he recently, and this was obviously a pertinent story as to our date, he went on a hunger strike and at one point was found unresponsive in his jail cell. As you reported, Jer, smelling salts were implied, or induced?
Utilized.
Yeah, they were used. Yeah. And he woke up for a moment, but then eventually died. Good riddance. This guy was a fucked up motherfucker who literally murdered a man who was going on a gentle date with another man and then mutilated his corpse in the weirdest fashion possible. You cannot cry insanity when you hang your victim from a rafter and cut them apart slowly over days.
That's one of those things where technically anybody who does that has some sanity issues, but not for the sake of not getting what you deserve in prison.
Yeah, it's not like manslaughter. Like when you walk in with your wife fucking a guy and you just stab the guy. Yep. That's
or second degree or whatever.
That's heat of passion manslaughter.
It might be second degree or whatever it is.
Heat of passion manslaughter.
This is premeditated. He
lowered a man.
Going into it. It's just like the Luca Magnotti subject of the documentary. Don't fuck with cats. Is on Netflix as well, which is fucking creepy as shit. But yeah, same kind of thing. Like they were trying for the insanity plea and all this, and sure, there may have been some schizophrenia involved, but as far as like where their capacity was to premeditate this stuff and plan it out, that shows enough lucidity to plan something like that.
I got an idea for a movie here. All right, you have a bureau of cops, and they can see slightly into the future, specifically when crimes happen, and then they intercept these people just before they commit the crimes. I'm thinking I want to call this Minority Report and cast Tom Cruise.
Okay, so you are making the recommendation to watch Minority Report, and I would actually go a different route. Yes,
our first story already delved into a pre-existing show, Big Brother, with zombies, which I found out. So, I feel weak today. I feel like we need to maybe give recommendations to listeners of things that are similar to our stories.
That's what we said we were going to do, and I actually was going to go the other route and go the cannibal route and mention probably a lesser-known cannibal movie. There's actually, I have not watched the Mexican version of it yet, which is the original because it was not available, but now it is, so I have to watch that at some point. But the American version came out a year later. It was very awesome, called We Are What We Are.
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's very good, and I've not seen the actual original Mexican version because
right
after I watched the American version.
Because you can't read subtitles.
I've got a new 75-inch TV, dude. Watching movies with subtitles is a breeze. Probably 50% plus of my movies I watch.
Does it look like one of those music videos that's the word kind?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Where all the words
the
are on
lyric
the
videos.
videos.
Yeah, there's like
videos,
the giant. Where the entire.
Sorry that I'm over 40 and I said the YouTube videos with the words.
Yeah. You know the words. You mean subtitles? No, the words.
The word
videos. The word kind. We Are What We Are. I actually wanted to. I was waiting to watch the movie forever because I wanted to watch the original, and then it wasn't. And then about a month after I watched it, it turned out that they dropped it on Hulu, I believe, the original one. But the American one's on Prime, so you can watch that. And I believe Hulu has the original Mexican one, Spanish language version one. But although I'm not sure if that's actually still up to date.
So for every listener out there, we think on our feet, and this show is a very organic process. Sometimes we decide to do things here, there, and everywhere. I do love that the entire format of the show, and this is just me speaking as Jared's co-host, I'd love that we found a coronavirus way to make our non-coronavirus stories work. If you're trapped at home and you're listening to this, not only will we do what we just said, make new content, but we're going to flip it to give you existing content that makes you entertained at home. Because guess what our new content doesn't do? Nothing. Gives you nightmares.
It could be something like if you like. I've been one of the things I've actually really loved about the isolating stuff is I have been diving into like shit that has been on my like list to learn, shit that takes forever to do, like some game development stuff, pixel art,
Mandarin.
I'm working on a video project thing for a music video thing. I'm eating a lot of Mandarin oranges, and it's been very good. I've been juicing. By that of steroids.
I thought that meant jerking off. You said that earlier twice, and you kept hiding a tissue box.
Just because tissues are worth money now, you know.
Oh, you're hiding them from me?
Yes.
Well, I saw where you hid them.
Yeah, in my jerk-off drawer. Yes, it was just a coincidence. So
I love how you get a label gun for Christmas too, because it's easy to find things in your house.
Not jerk-off drawer.
Not jerk-off drawer.
Everything's either jerk-off drawer or not jerk-off drawer. It's like, where's your underwear? I don't know. Those could be in either one. Socks, same thing. Either jerk-off drawer or not jerk-off drawer. I have way more jerk-off drawers than not jerk-off drawers. So guess what? You can jerk off with just about anything. So anyway,
Jerry,
that's existing content. As far as new content
you have another update. Did you want to dive into that?
I do want to do that because a while ago, and I don't know which episode it was, we covered...
It was a while ago.
Yeah.
I would like to say it was last July
It was definitely probably it was definitely last year, and it was long enough ago where we were talking about Instagram folks who have been posting, going to essentially it's pretty much a waste site, and it just happens to be a chemical makes this water a gorgeous bright blue, essentially almost Blue Lagoon style, like gorgeous bright blue. So people have been going there to take selfies, and the government was like, don't do this. This is fucking
toxic.
dangerous.
People are taking selfies waiting it.
Yes, exactly. People are like, oh, I love this. And it's like...
That's pussy never... That pussy in that water, never been more clean, never more diseased.
Exactly.
Both at the same time.
And that's so the issue is they were having issues with that, and finally the police have just dumped some black dye into the lagoon now.
To make it look ugly.
It's not black, but it's got like all these spots in the blue. And the thing I love about that, you're just gonna get a bunch of goth people coming and like taking selfies there instead.
Oh my god, a black lake, dude!
Oh, dude.
I would go there.
I was actually hoping that would be what it was. Instead, if you look at the pictures, there's pools of black in there. But I would love it if it became a black lagoon, an actual black lagoon.
I would definitely do a TikTok sitting on the dock. No pun intended. That's not the funny part.
Well, it was fucking hilarious as far as that where I'm sitting.
And just keep pulling fish out as you catch them. Be like, goth fish.
Yep.
goth fish,
creature
and
from
then
Black Lagoon.
You find like a fish that won't take the dye like into its scales. Like when it actually comes at norm, be like, huh, normie.
Yep.
And like snap its neck
Yep.
and toss it back as far as you can.
I like the catch and release thing, but you just kill him and then release him.
You just snap its neck and throw it back.
Tell your friends who sent you.
Yeah.
Throw it back in, fucking with a little firecracker.
We don't need your normies.
Yeah.
And then at that exact moment, within literal 1980s boombox, like a ghetto blaster,
Yeah.
you just start playing fucking Morrissey.
Oh man, yeah.
But what country was this?
Where was the actual? I thought it was in the UK somewhere.
Ooh, I
but
thought it was too.
Yeah.
That wouldn't help my story at all. I was really hoping like another show I was watching recently would be Spanish Morrissey being sung live.
Oh yeah, right. Let's see. My internet's still up. It just seems to be a slow loading page.
Yeah,
here.
all of our internet is really slow.
Derbyshire. That definitely sounds like a British name. I'm just gonna go ahead and call that. But Derbyshire.
It could also be Australian and weak.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it could be like Kerplunky Plunk Walker.
Kaplonk the Jank. Yeah, lawn. Yeah,
yours is better than mine.
East Midlands of England. Yes. Okay. So,
no shit.
But it's near like some chemical facility or something like that, and they get like runoff and it turns the water blue. I think I can't. Don't quote me on that. Go listen to our prior podcast. Look up somewhere online. Listen to every single episode until you find it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah.
All right, so we have hit the point of the show where we move into the more serious subject matter, the part of the show that matters the most, the part of the show that is our show. This is the part of the show where we are going to talk about the thing that we actually care about, the thing that we described at the top of the show. I gave a very long,
trying to stall?
in-depth...
I usually just hit spacebar around this time anyway, so...
Nope, no one's touching spacebar because that's a way to transmit viruses. So what we're talking about
I'm taking
is
a while to actually pour myself
a
shot, and the reason it's taking long is because I'm taking precautions and actually using a clean towel to actually screw the cap on, because I know that's the one area where it actually touches the lip of it.
That is where I have touch, and I am
and you have gloves. So this is the identical thing. I don't have gloves on, so this is the thing. Trying to be responsible, folks. Think about the points of transmission, and yes. Maybe you don't want to touch that space bar because maybe it's up to me to do that.
Can I give listeners one tip? If you're looking for food service, rubber, latex, glovey type things, if you're in the food service industry, you actually know, and also the medical industry, you know about a better form of gloves than latex. They're called nitrile, Nitrile. Because the average person doesn't know they exist, they're actually plentiful online.
Yeah, and also like some people
nitrile gloves fit like a glove. They're actually skin tight. You can use cell phones and other touchscreens through them.
What material are they?
Nitrile.
Okay, cool. Nitrile.
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 They're about $10.
Which, because some people actually have issues with latex as well, so they think they're not shit out of luck. So.
They're not posted on Amazon or anywhere as latex because they are not made of it. And they are about $10 for 100. Okay, so if you want to feel safe, that's a great way to have what I do. When I leave my property, my actual property zone from the house I bought, I wear these anywhere I go. Jer, I went to a store before I came here. I was 6 feet apart from the gentleman buying something in front of me. He was wearing complete military fatigues, had an eye patch, had a military hat that met his uniform.
Wow.
And he was buying his purchase, looked to me and goes, huh, look at you. And I was 6 feet back with gloves in my hands.
Yeah.
And he had no gloves and was doing his own thing. As soon as I left the store with my purchase, I took my gloves off, threw them in a trash bin, and then put new gloves on and came to Jared's house where I feel safe.
Yep.
So just to let you know, like, even being in public doesn't mean you're going to die. Just be smart about how you do your hygiene.
Pay attention to the distancing and all the things.
Pay attention to customers too. If you literally see someone cough on a bunch of potato chips and you want to buy those, don't buy them.
Because at the end of the day, it's
easy.
It's sort of like when you're on the road, you're only as safe as the driver next to you. It's the same thing in this other area. So it's more watching out for other people. I mean, obviously you want to do your part as well, so make sure other people feel safe around you. But and then, by the way, these are Nitrile. If people want to actually Google the
Nitrile.
Trile, yeah, not like nitrile, yeah, Nitrile. So
that's what I said.
Yep, no, that's what you said. I just want to spell it for people because
no, that's fine. Jared just wants to say I'm wrong.
No, I say you're right. No, because when you said
twisted a narrative to make a social breakdown of our podcast, so we fight, so we never record in person again.
when you said it, the reason I asked what they were made out of, I heard night trial. Like,
that's how I say it.
Yes, yeah, which is probably how it's also pronounced. But I was hearing it like the word night and the trial,
actually,
and it's but the actual.
To be fair, I think it's
things.
nitrile.
Or nitrial, or nitrile. Yeah. But anyway, so yes, I just want to make sure if people did want to look in those, they know how to Google such a thing.
And if you wear latex gloves and decide to do some of that kinky
I have
cam stuff
gloves,
with the COVID stuff, where you wear like latex gloves and wear masks and fuck. A lot of people are allergic to latex.
They are, yes.
So that's why there's why there's condom warnings.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying like that. That's why I was asking.
No one
asking about the what it was made out of.
Yeah, no one is allergic to nitrile as far as we know on Earth. Yeah. No one.
So they're going to be a safe alternative for people who might, because even if people aren't allergic to them, I know people who have like there's just enough of like an issue, like they just might dry their hands out or something like that. There's just enough of an issue with latex that a lot of people just would then not want to wear it, and then that helps spread the disease more. I actually just realized I have some latex or rubber gloves here that I never use, and I totally forgot. So now that I remember I have them, I'll probably use them. Great. Anyway, we are going into web droppings.
Do we have a theme song?
Yeah, the usual one.
Dropping 2.0.
All right, I bring the first story to the table this week. Portland strip clubs forced to close, so now dancers do delivery. And yes, this is a coronavirus adjacent story. It's hard to find coronavirus stories, but this is a great one. This is happening with the Lucky Devil Lounge, who actually has a second business attached to theirs.
They essentially
it's within the story. I think it's also called the Devil's something.
Yeah, they have sort of pub food type, right? That one.
Yeah, pub foodie stuff.
Yeah, it's like but it sounds like these like steak bites they call them, and mini corn dogs.
Yeah, this is in Portland, Oregon. And what they decided to do is employ anyone who is willing to wear pasties and deliver their food to the door.
So you're not getting like strippers. Like they're not going to necessarily like when they will do that. I actually haven't checked to see if you can actually get any kind of stripping services. They were saying they're still not close.
As far as I've looked into, no.
And they still have a security guard escorting these people just like any other stripper. And there's still no contact, just like you were in the club.
The only reason why I would say that maybe they do something extra is it is $30 for delivery. And almost up to $100 depending on the range.
Yep.
And I don't know if they're paying for like time and services and gas.
Well, remember too, you're employing an actual like probably those people are probably working on whatever they get for tips. But the security guard is working based on an hourly rate. So if they're driving somebody 2 hours, you're paying that guy $40. Like that's probably a low price security guard.
True. Yeah, you're not wrong. And also, they're only employing 80 dancers. And between two businesses, that's probably close to all, but not quite close. But close enough, because they are booming. But the only sad part of this story that I had to read throughout, and I really wish I hadn't read this, the actual wages the strippers doing delivery work make is about minimum wage.
That's really... Yeah, I mean, it's probably... compared to making nothing, it's probably better than if they were completely unemployed. But at the same time... It would be nice if they would, make like regular like Domino's delivery drivers and friends of mine who are doing curbside as opposed to like working at, like slice counters and stuff. We're talking about how much extra money they're making right now because people are using their services more and people tip better based on that. But clearly the pricing structure here is probably such that their overhead is enough to where they're probably not getting, they're probably still working for tips, but probably by the time you get done, traveling an hour, to get with his Boober Eats, by the way. I'd like to say it's clever, but it's not. But it did make me chuckle. It's actually this whole thing started as a joke too, which I think is interesting. That the guy made a joke social media post, and turned out a bunch of people actually started inquiring, be like, "Hey, about that thing." Like, it was a joke, but maybe
it
not.
Took off. Yeah.
But I mean, so I will say, like, if it's a matter of these people, I mean, just because they've hired a bunch of extra people, these aren't just like standard strippers. But it is nice that those are people who are affected by this, like anybody else, anybody working in the social industry who are now laid off and can't do anything. So
here, I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Okay,
extra content.
What's up?
Coronavirus, sexiest way to fix a gap in the needs of our system of life right now that isn't hot delivery girls.
Wait. So you mean like there's like a need
So
for like
we're looking
sex
at
appeal
we're looking
and
at the
whatnot.
sex industry.
Okay.
And we're all quarantined, and you can't include delivery drivers because that is this story. What would be the hottest way for someone to make new income in our new environment? You got to think, first of all, social distancing, touching, not leaving your house.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing is there's already so much of that in place because these strippers could then just become
needs.
cam girls, you know?
I got one right now.
Okay, good.
Grocery stores have been considered a need. Yes. Like, they're not closing down. The workers have to work. How about we have stock girls do it in bikinis? And stock boys. I'm not going to be sexist or ageist or anything. I don't care your age. If you're willing to do it, do it. But you're allowed to get tips.
I think
so you can be like an 80-year-old mom, grandmom.
Yes. Yep.
Put the juicy juice on the shelf. Oh, one juicy juice. Two juice. Oh, what was that?
That's a juicy
And someone
juice.
goes, yeah, that's a tenner for you. Oh, thank you, little boy. You know, and keeps stocking. Like, maybe that.
Yeah.
Maybe not that. Maybe that's considered not okay in our woke society, but
I think it would be, if you open up an opportunity for people to, I mean, that's the whole thing about like what's the difference
KFC.
What's the difference between people who are, you know, what the difference between something that's exploitative and something that's just opening up a potential for people to make an adult choice.
So my KFC argument would work. I was going to say KFC, Popeyes, have all your female employees go topless at the drive-thru.
Yeah, see, like that would probably be exploitative as opposed to starting up a whole new industry.
Exploitative is only exploitative if the girl doesn't want to do it.
Well, no, if you're putting like an existing like job that they're
I
doing
know.
saying that, yes, no, but
that's why I said
what
I'm
saying,
backing down.
That's why the branch. Whereas if you started up a new business and then you're having these people apply with that exact thing in mind.
All right, let's start with sex work. What sex work could turn into a critical need
I will say this,
where you look at someone.
I will say that I'm actually curious because cam girls have always done relatively well, and I'm guessing that volume has gone up.
Yep.
And I'm guessing, but there are also more people getting into it, like strippers and stuff, who maybe are like, I would prefer to do this in person. Suddenly, a $30 webcam and you know, an account that takes a few bucks, I'm sure probably makes a lot of money.
I got it.
But I'm actually curious if that's true.
You worked me all the way around to where I need to be.
Oh, I can work you good, man. I can reach
you
around.
literally did.
I can reach around and work you till you're done. You finish.
Okay, women who are willing to get naked in front of a camera, who have base knowledge in major academic fields. Majors still have to happen online. I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, there's. I mean, like a lot of the schools have moved to online curriculum.
But you're not doing the schooling. You're not on the seminars. You're on the classes. You're not taking notes. You're sharing notes. You're doing it the most boring way possible. Yep. You get college graduates who are hot and want to show their tits, and they Zoom or whatever,
or their dicks
to give you study sessions to get you to pass your exam.
It's sort of like naked news. How people, they're like, maybe people will actually tune into news if people are naked. Turns out people just masturbate to the news instead, and then you're conflicted because you're like, oh, so many people are dying in Hong Kong as you squirt and pop one out, and that's the only way you can get off now is if you think about dead children in Hong Kong.
Nope, you do it smart. You get a hot girl who got a 100% and a 4.0.
Oh, of course,
and she knows how to go through college, and she has a rack. She lays in a rack, so you just see the cleavage and the hint of one, knowing there's no bra there. She teaches you everything on a reward system.
Oh, so it's sort of like strip poker. And again, we're also going to...
we do it on a reward system.
I would technically point out that this is also stuff that could be done, just so we're not sounding like too sexist for dudes as well, but most people... Women are generally not necessarily going to be paying to see like a dude's dong and stuff like that. That's why the sex industry is so leaning toward the other way.
If it's the right guy. But Jason Momoa is teaching you biology
and guess what?
And says, I'll whip out my dick and wave it in the camera if you pass your biology test... Any girl and most guys are going to pass their biology exam just to see that, and he only has to do it once.
Well, the reason
and send it out to everyone.
The reason a lot of people go into that, even if they're not gay, will go into industries of like posing, like that, is because there's also the fact that men are the consumer of it. There's also plenty of homosexual men who want to see naked dudes,
and plenty of women who are fucking just as trashy as men,
who want to see, just want to see.
Have you ever met a girl who's like,
I
just want to see some shit? It's like, yeah, cool. You're like dudes,
yeah.
And it's not 1% of women. It's probably half of all.
I
women
have, but I will say, like,
it
definitely seems like when I've talked to women, they're like, there's certain more like cerebral things happening there as opposed to men who are very visual. So a woman, it might be less that. It might be like, oh, maybe he's
like I said,
maybe he's taking care of my nana, and then
like I said, he teaches her biology on an academic level.
Oh yeah. So you got
he passes her exam in her majors, minors does not matter.
Yeah.
And then when all is said and done,
you get a dick.
He pulls out a tree trunk, and then also maybe
and teaches you about agriculture and trees, not agriculture. What's the horticulture?
No,
what's the tree one?
Where you learn elasticity.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and convert this to metric here. All right. So if I got an 8-inch penis.
2 days later, she's not in the Green Party. She's like, we don't need to save trees. They're all evil. They're all evil.
That's So. But yeah, there's plenty of options out there for people. There's always going to be jobs for people willing to take their clothes off, of course. But there are nowadays, it's all visual because a lot of people. That's why I think because I know like a lot of the porn industry, for the most part, is shut down, except for the fact that so much on Pornhub is based on the Pornhub quote unquote community, which are just couples doing that. They're still doing that shit, and their shit is skyrocketing to the top of everything because
cam girls, stuff like that.
Yeah, because or just cam couples are just like, well, maybe where they're gonna, if they're isolated together, you can still fuck.
And thruples are sitting across a triangular shaped dinner table, eyeing each other as they cough into their sleeve.
Those are hard to find, triangular shaped dinner tables.
Best for thruples and thrusbands.
Yeah. And for hurting yourself, you talk about fucking. Actually, technically, there are fewer corners on that, aren't they? It seems like it'd be sharper, but it wouldn't be. There'd be 4 corners on a rectangular one.
I'd fuck on a triangular table over a square one any day.
Yeah.
Only because triangular tables are rare, and that's a better story.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Everything's about the story.
Yeah.
Everything's about the story. Speaking of stories.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we got more.
New York City's Department of Health is...
Oh, yeah, talking about the whole...
About
couples
sex.
having sex.
Yeah.
There it is. I knew that story was coming up. I didn't realize it was next. I would have made a better segue.
Yeah, they're bending over backwards to try to prevent new health threats, and what they're doing is kind of weird. It's based partly on the pandemic, but mainly on their new health code standards, period. And they're trying to distance themselves from current news and just saying this is what they're doing now.
Yeah.
And as much as we tried to make a COVID-19 free hour, we're 48 minutes in with the theme song, and we are failing miserably.
Well, again, these are going to be coronavirus adjacent.
Everything is weird.
The story that comes out of it might not be like it may have arisen because of the coronavirus. It's almost hard for anything out there now to be a story that isn't about it. But we're not talking about statistics, death tolls.
No, that's
for
our mini-sode that's coming up this week, and pretty much what we're going to do is list the death toll like the Vietnam War memorial,
like a ticker,
but we're gonna do it in funny voices.
Yeah, and with like spring sounds in the background. Boing! Yeah. 2 more people dead in Italy. Whoop whoop.
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
Slide whistles. Yeah, let's show some real respect for the people who have passed away from this god awful thing that's gonna kill many, many more by the time it's done.
Now, New York City's health agency issued a graphic guideline for safe sexual practices.
It's like a sex guidance document. Yeah, pretty much it boiled down to just jerk off or
this
finger.
This came out a day before we recorded.
Diddle yourself, jerk it.
Yes. The city specifically called out rimming or using the tongue, and I okay.
Are you going to read their explanation?
No, I am, but
because it's very clinical.
First, to half our listeners, I'm sorry I'm explaining rimming to you who don't know it. To the other half, I'm sorry I'm explaining rimming in the way New York City decided to,
because they have to do it in sort of
hear it.
Because they have to do it essentially like in a legal guidance kind of way. So of course they're not just going to say, "Yo, no rimmies," like people are like, "What does that mean?"
So let me back up. Yes, the city specifically called out rimming or using the tongue on the anal rim or another part for sexual pleasure or another person. Sorry, as particularly dangerous.
I like how they have to point out of another person. There definitely may be some really flexible people out there, but I'm guessing if I type self rim job into Pornhub, something comes up. I'm going to do that right now.
And then in quotes,
nothing's NSFW.
Rimming, mouth and anus, might spread COVID-19. Virus in
anything
feces
that you eat,
may enter your mouth.
Anytime you might get shit in your face, you're probably going to catch something. I mean,
rim
job's good on you, everybody. Do
by
it.
saying
Fun.
rimming will get into your mouth means you're doing ATM. And as we all know right now, don't use ATMs.
Well,
ATMs are filthy with germs.
They are actually very filthy.
but also other ATM filthy with germs.
Yeah, I mean, ATM, for all you who need to know, that is ass to mouth. But in this case, you're just going straight ass to mouth. A lot of times, ass is good.
Where's the middle for you?
No, because there's a dick going in the ass.
Cheesecake Factory?
So because a lot of times when it's ATM, it's a dick going in the ass and then going in the mouth. And this is, you're just skipping the middleman of the dick. You're going straight tongue to ass, you know? TTA.
Okay.
Yeah. No, so usually when people say ass to mouth, they're talking about your dick goes in an ass and then it goes to a mouth.
Yeah.
You know?
As opposed to
actual ass to mouth, like human centipede style.
Yeah.
So, the old, that's tongue to ass.
Or
TTR, tongue to rim.
ATCF. Ass to Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, we're going to call it Cheesecake Factory now.
That's what I call my ass.
All right, I'm going to just type in self rim job, see what that comes up with here.
All right, let's see what you get. I'm going to go on further.
No,
the New York,
it doesn't autocomplete. Self suck does.
Okay. The NYC Health Department has a document about sex and coronavirus that includes a statement about rimming that we just read.
Yep.
It also says stay at least 6 feet apart from another person and be sure not to lick anyone's anus. 6 feet apart thing is fine. Licking the anus until we confirm that coronavirus survives the digestive tract?
I mean, a lot of that stuff does in fecal matter. That's what one of the whole bubonic plague issue, right?
I guess, but like, I didn't think we had to talk about it. I guess.
Well, I mean, don't eat shit, right? I mean, but a lot of people
also
won't think about rim
not
jobs.
necessary in this economy.
Well, I will say this: if when everything gets back to normal, rim away. It's fun people, but no matter how clean you think your asshole is, and if you're a man like me, got a bidet, my asshole's sparkling. It goes like, it makes a sound. It goes ding. I've got to see a doctor about it, but I'm not allowed to go because everybody's in there for coronavirus. So I've got to deal with my dinging asshole some other day because Obama. And then, so I'm in there. I got a sparkling asshole, but I still assume, there's a chance for some poopy contact there.
Chairman, I need some.
You might eat a nugget.
I'm gonna need a backing ballad tone from you. Ready?
No.
Rim away.
Okay.
Rim away. Stay away from that asshole until a better day.
Ooh, I like that.
Rim away. Rim away. Stay away from that dirty butthole till there's a better day. Better day is gonna come, not yesterday. Gonna come tomorrow, that's another day. We're about to rim job each and every one. Guess what we don't listen to? Number one. That's Trump. He's our leader.
Yeah. Rap interlude breakdown in a ballad, yo. Yo, Chris Brown on the track. I beat a woman once. Out. Oh, shit. He's still on tracks now? Fucking A. How do people keep hiring that guy?
I don't know, but thank you for saving me from...
It was pretty good, actually. It was in my head, man. Anyway, no self-rim job. So we talk about an opening opportunity. There's a gap in the market. No self-rim job.
There's a gap in a self-rim job.
I'm guessing.
Obviously, if you can't complete it, there's a gap.
I am seeing a lot of self-suck stuff. There's some, there's some people self-sucking, and I gotta say, good on you if you can get that kind of flexibility. But I'm guessing if that's difficult, getting all the way around to your asshole, got to be real tough.
Yeah. Rim away.
Maybe a prolapse.
Away. Save that ass for another day.
I'm not going to type in self-prolapse rim job, actually. I'm not going to type that one in because I don't want to actually see prolapsed assholes.
Dude, that's the easiest fucking self-rim job. If you drop your pocket, you can pick it up.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Like, you're just, like, hovering over your mouth and just slowly letting it, like, I don't know, like one of those cones.
Oh, like a soft serve machine that's broken.
Yeah.
Like, it's coming out, but it's spiraling too slow.
You definitely need a friend to help you, a prolapse friend. You've got a good friend when they will come over and help you self-prolapse and self-rim job.
You hand them a snow shovel and some nitrile gloves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Safety first. When self-prolapse rimming, and you need a spotter, if they will be, a rim job spotter, a prolapse spotter, if you will. Hey, you need somebody to make sure that you can put you back together. Old Humpty Dumpty fucking comes out of that sack. You gotta pick up the pieces.
No more stories to the show. Can we talk actually sanity for a moment?
Sure.
This might be good for our listeners. If you're actually listening to us and taking
sanity or sanitizing?
Both.
Okay.
Because if you listen to us and you like our like-mindedness and how we talk about the world, the government, the coronavirus outbreak, etc., this is actually on a serious note.
Yes. Yeah. We can be serious.
Whenever I go on to New York Post, Salon, any of these leading, what I want to call slightly left-leaning, although probably
Post is probably more like right. The Post is that one sort of Trump-leaning, I think.
It depends on the day, unfortunately.
They're sort of a rag.
It almost doesn't matter for me, and this might be one of those targeted things, like how the internet likes to listen to when you're talking on your phone and target ads at you. And maybe just by saying our president's name, I'm getting targeted ads because I'm saying his name. It doesn't matter whether I'm pro or against, I'm getting targeted ads.
Of course, yep.
But all I'm getting whenever I go onto these, and this has happened for 2 days straight, and this is the only reason I'm bringing it up, is I've noticed it, is it doesn't matter the news source, and we try to go central leaning news sources here on the Lost
It's almost impossible because there's almost no such thing anymore. But like something like the New York Times, I would say is more centrist.
I almost 100
technically feels like liberal media, but but it's not. It only seems like liberal media because there's no way to not report facts on the president and not sound like you hate the president. So.
It pretty much means now when I search out news stories, as you go through, you get those targeted ads.
Of course, yeah.
Every quarter scroll.
Yes.
We're not talking full pages.
Yeah, and they make some news sites absolutely impossible to even fucking use. And like that's why we use ad blocker, assholes. Because you got too fucking greedy, man. Put one on there. That's fine.
So every time I go and look at a negative Trump story, and whether it's the Washington Post, the New York Post, the Oregon Times, it doesn't really matter the source. There are always Trump ads in the middle of it. And I don't really understand what I'm doing wrong as a human being to erase these. All I can say is, whatever you see in a targeted ad when you're looking at actual news about the weird news we're talking about, or pandemic news, please, when they say they'll lower your mortgage, when they say there's no problem, when they say you need to vote, look at the source and look at what they're asking you to mortgage against or for and vote for or against.
Yep.
Don't look at these things as our president talking to you. Every targeted ad with Trump's face is fake news. And I would almost say, since he is a air quote businessman who actually talks in childish, gooberish shit, but says once in a while smart business tactics that he doesn't mean to say because they're more underlying slithery nonsense.
He has definitely failed in the right direction every once in a while.
Yep, just trust your own spirits, and if it sounds too good to be true, don't follow it. Just like
it's anything with fake news, genuine fake news or misleading information. You should be skeptical of everything that pops through, and if it sounds sensationalized, take a deep breath, count to 10. Sit back before retweeting that bullshit, because that spreads this misinformation, especially in times like now where we need to trust the media or find trustworthy sources, and people are spreading ridiculous shit all over social media, just like usual, but now it's actually having an effect. There are human beings dying because of misinformation. The person who, the people in Arizona or whatever that took the pills that you use to clean fish tanks.
Chlorodyne.
Because it has that drug in it that Trump was all, boasting about, but Trump still never said, everybody go out and take it. He said, this is promising or whatever, and these people took it to heart and then took a fucking fish tank cleaner
by saying this information, you're basically dooming people to death.
Yes.
Every time
and by spreading that kind of thing, the thing is, if he just said it and that was the end of it, but it's the people actually out there spreading the misinformation after the fact, that's how it gets to even more people, because it spreads like a virus.
It's amazing. Trump almost got impeached for basically working through back channels with foreign governments to attack a political partner.
Yeah.
But he literally gave not news that killed a man.
Yeah.
And we're too busy with the coronavirus to actually worry about him getting impeached. We're actually...
Not only that, he's actually, his approval rating might crack 50% if it hasn't already by now, but they were saying he's on his way to crack 50%, which is his highest ever. And now the, not that it was, I assumed he was going to get reelected anyway, but the fact that this is helping him, even though there was an absolute abysmal response to it. But guess what? People are going to see... $1,200 pop through. They're going to see an extra $600 in unemployment. Even if the economy seems like it's doing bad, they're going to relate him more as a wartime president, and he's probably going to get reelected based on this kind of thing. And it's one of those where the less misinformation out there, the better. So hopefully people, and again, also that means on the other side, people spreading misinformation on the liberal side of trying to make everything. I thought it was funny. I read in the same story, people giving Trump shit because his numbers about the U.S. doing better than anybody else in testing, and outdoing South Korea was based purely on the numbers of people that we were testing, not the percentage. And in that same exact, right below it, there was a link to that same news source writing an article about how we were worse than everybody else because of the number of cases. So they left the other half of the information out as well. You need the full story because they're hypocrites by saying one or the other. Trump was wrong to do that, but if then you go and turn around and do it just to counter him and make him look, as bad as he is, but you can't. It's just steer clear of hypocrisy. Try to get the full story. There's a lot to every single story. So, and we're only going to give you the fun stuff.
And speaking of fun stuff, here is a song we picked out ahead of time, totally real. We're not lying right now.
You're gonna take care of that, right?
I'll send you a link.
That's all I need. Yep.
I think it's gonna be Big Little. It might be the Boom Wow Wow song.
Cool. All right. Sounds good. I think we're right about the time where is your little serious time talk over? I think it's good.
I think I barely hit on it. You kind of took it over.
Did he? Oh, yeah.
And I let you because you gave really good information. And I hope our listeners know that nothing we say on this air is fake news. Nothing. Nothing.
At the same time,
and if we ever did report any, we give the highest level of apology. We are sourcing our news, and we're not dumb. We actually go through every news source we can possibly
I think
find.
in almost 300 episodes, we've probably maybe half a dozen times have reported. And granted, usually, especially when it's something like coronavirus, we're going to be extremely do our due diligence, because it's one thing if we report something that's fake news about a guy, eating a firecracker and shitting fire or something like that, which sounds like a cool story and a really cool thing to happen.
Dude, if I could shit a firecracker tomorrow without any lasting damage,
I'd do it.
Well, I'd do it, but I wouldn't want it to be tomorrow. It's work quarantine. I want to do it summer party style.
Yeah, in a party, go to a party with a firecracker ready to go.
You know
in your stomach, and it comes out. Is it wrapped in shit or just come straight out like a cartoon fucking Acme one?
I was just thinking enema style, because if you put a thing through your stomach, it's gonna get wet from bile.
It'd be great. It'd be great if you could light it, swallow it. And then when you shit it out, it's still lit, ready to go, but it never goes off in your stomach somehow.
It'd only be better if it was exponentially better than the normal firework.
Yes.
And then literally the first person who does that...
Do not go in there
the fire department goes, dude, that was amazing. But we need to tell people not to do that.
Yeah.
They're kind of worried, that was the best fireworks explosion ever. You turned one popper, one of those little wrapped up,
and somehow
poppers,
something in your digestive tract
goes...
Pop! Yeah, little snap. You turned it into a fucking M80.
And it turns into fucking
a stick of dynamite.
It just turns into Mulan.
It's just your ass perched up and just you can see it over the horizon. I would be totally
also
good for
you
that.
make a giant gain for women's rights and defeat the Chinese government. Mulan. Way to strike a fucking movie in the middle of a coronavirus outbreak and a Chinese isolationist movement. So,
that's right. They're making the live action Mulan, aren't they? Right?
Oh, they did.
Or they did?
It can't be released, and when it does, it's kind of anti-Chinese. It's not going to be released in any theater. They're not going to release it in any VOD. Mulan might be the lowest Disney film ever to come out.
Well,
even though it might be the best live action.
Or according to CNN.com, Mulan feels like the movie we could have most used right now.
Yeah, exactly, because it's kind of socially pertinent.
Yep. It only cost $200 million to make, so they're fine.
Honestly, okay, real quick, we're still going over.
It's fine. It's fine.
We already told our sponsor we're going over, so okay. So out of all the Disney movies, I've tried watching one of them, and it sucked.
Live actions?
The live actions. It sucked.
Yeah, plenty of great classics out there.
I don't want to watch them. If I want to watch The Lion King, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to
watch The Lion King. The one with fucking, is it Jonathan Taylor Thomas is in that? Right?
I know you're a JTT guy.
I just can't wait to be king. I mean, he didn't do any of the singing, but I think he was a voice.
I know you're a Jonathan Taylor Thomas guy.
Yeah, I'm a JTT man myself. Right? Yeah, JTT. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Anything else?
All I gotta say is that if they continue to put them out, I will watch them. But the Mulan one is the only one I care about. The rest, they're just money grabs. Anytime you do a live action of a cartoon, especially if it's a live action of a cartoon based on a book, what is the next step? Disney. What's step 4? Another book?
Well, I mean, honestly, they are definitely every property they make in their mind has to be some kind of franchise that gets remade and rebanned again. Guess what? It's going to happen until people stop giving them billions of dollars. So it's fine if they keep making them as long as it's making them money. I'm not going to,
You just say making the money?
Making the money, yeah. It's What's wrong with that?
Italian Jares says, get
And
lost.
making a money and get lost.
Get lost.